feels amazing are some boobies on your feet. You guys ever have that before?
Never had that.
Some nice warm boobies.
Can you tell me the context of how this actually has happened? Because I don't understand. And what's it? Unless you,
it's like on the top. It's like on the top of your feet. Like I don't know, the top of your feet has like different sensation or skin kind of than anywhere else. You know, yeah, boobies on your feet or boobies on your balls. About boobies on your balls. You ever that?
Well,
I can never look at Andy the same.
Hey, I didn't say it was Andy.
I'm like trying not to.
Yeah.
Just what?
I never even said it was a female.
So that's what I was gonna ask. Like, what do you like? What type of boobies?
Yeah, female boobies. Yeah.
Like a woman?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mark, what the fuck is going on, dude? Like,
nothing. Just having a good time here and there. That's all.
Okay,
is there anything wrong with that?
Let me expand. I have no idea what that feels like.
Well, boobs feel really good, right?
Yes,
they like have a certain like temperature and like texture.
They have a magnetism. Yeah. Like there's an aspect.
They got like their own thing going on.
You just want. Like it's just like I do this to Sam all the time. Sometimes we'll just be chilling. I'll just be like. You know what I mean? Like there is a magnetism.
Like gives you power.
Yeah, it's like you're like, you know. But the feet thing, we can't skip over this without you again giving context because you ask, does that feel great? Why do you know? Like what?
You guys just have to try. You guys just have to try it. That's all. Yeah,
I hate you.
They got healing powers.
I hate you so much.
They do.
It's like hot stones on your feet or something. That feels pretty good.
Like, what have you guys done? Like, you just squeezed them and sucked on them? I mean, that's it.
Why are you doing
For the most part, yeah.
You just got on the mic and just
slide in between them. You know. Back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus.
Motorboat. The whole thing. I mean,
that's actually always fun. Motorboating will never get old. I don't know why there's an aspect where it's just so nice. For the lady listeners, it's
I don't know, boobs on anywhere on your skin feels like silk or something.
Have you noticed one thing, how women are just generally just more open to just being nude around each other and touching each other's boobies and like being like, oh, yours. They're just more open to that.
They have some gay energy.
Truly. Like, I mean, truly. But I mean,
but we don't. Got some of your guys at jiu-jitsu. I'm sure you're just like, even when you're not wrestling them, you're probably just grabbing each other a bit here and there.
That's Andrew. Okay.
Messing around, touchy feely.
You know what's Andrew? Let me ask.
I'm always rubbing on Andrew all the time.
And guys, we're gonna get into a pretty interesting video.
No, we're not.
Oh yes. just hold up, guys. Stay with us here on alcohol.
Let's see on the next one.
On alcohol. Shut the fuck up. On alcohol and lifting in the gym with alcohol. So just hold. But there's something here. Jiu-jitsu. Are you comfortable now being just like so close with your jiu-jitsu partner? Like I've been doing it for a while, so it feels fine. But I remember in the beginning there was that awkward like, ooh, we're
in there,
you know?
Yeah, even before I went, that was like one of the biggest like hurdles for me was like, I don't know if I can ever like just have a big sweaty dude sweating on top of like, you know, it just I don't know, it was super.
And sometimes the sweat gets in your mouth, like
thankfully it hasn't happened to me yet.
Oh, it will,
but
I'll make sure of that. I'll get some sweaty rolls and then I'll just roll on you and mount you and just be like,
just drip.
Sometimes people intentionally do that. They like try to get a drop to like land right on your lips.
I usually try to be a good partner and wipe my shit off while I have somebody mounted, but you know, not everyone's like that.
Yeah, well, that weird, awkward feeling that I thought I was gonna have, just because my first real go at it was like almost like, all right, guys, and we're gonna start rolling now. So it was very quick. So it went from I'm a little uncomfortable to fuck, I better hurry up. You know, like I got to get good at this, and that guy's gonna try to choke me, or he's gonna try to, you know. Like early on I had said like when I would get stuck in an arm bar and like, damn, his balls are right in my face. This sucks.
Why am I hard right now? What the fuck? Whoa.
Hey now.
Thank goodness for compression shorts.
Oh yeah.
But no, the awkwardness went away pretty quick. Yeah, thankfully, yeah.
Dude, I think of everything, man. Like I remember when I started, I was just like, God, well, this close body contact. What happens if I get? What if my dick just like? Which has never happened, thankfully. But there was that thought. I was just like, yo, what does that mean if that happens?
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean something?
I think there's a famous actor. I want to say maybe it was Denzel Washington. He told a female actress, he said, if I get aroused during this scene, please don't be offended. And if I don't get aroused during the scene, please don't be offended.
Oh, wow. Denzel just covering all his bases.
Yeah.
That's a smart move.
Yeah.
Probably drove her crazy.
That's got to be tough, those scenes.
Oh.
Right? That's got to be.
I mean, there's a lot. There's like a whole crew filming.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you got people watching.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
I mean, maybe that, I don't know.
Anyway.
What do we got?
Well, there's this clip that Owen put together for us because he
Does
thought
it
it was
have to do with boobies?
Kinda.
Actually, it has to do, you know, we've talked about alcohol a bit. We talked about the nightlife. And apparently there's a place that combines the gym and fitness with alcohol and community and all this. So I haven't seen it.
Isn't that trademarked by Chris Duffin?
Whiskey and deadlifts.
Right.
That's true. Have you ever, did you drink?
Yeah, we
when you did that?
participated. We have whole videos on it on YouTube.
No way.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I'll have to look for it.
Yeah, I had a great day that day. I think I deadlifted like 715 or something, or 675 or something. I don't know.
You know what? Since we're about to watch this video, we do have some alcohol in the video room. Would you guys like to take a shot in honor of this video?
No.
Nope. Nope.
All right, then. Let's just get into it then. No one wants to have a little fun here. Fuck you.
That thing will wreck me. I gotta drive in this fucking tsunami right now.
Yeah, what's going on out there?
It's wild.
Oh, God.
Thankfully, it's calmed down. But all right,
It's
let's.
Laney out there.
It is waning men. Hallelujah. Okay, here we go. Well, bam.
This is the most fun workout class in New York by far. Box Club had an event at Grip Boxing, which is a full-body strength treadmill and boxing class in a nightclub setting. The best part is that at the end of the class, there's a party at the front of the studio with an open bar. So everybody's super sweaty, but they're all taking shots and flirting. Even the bartender
All right,
took off
pause
his
real
shirt.
quick. So far, what are you guys thinking about this? This is very interesting.
It sounds like it's like maybe not like that all the time.
It doesn't look like it's like that all the time.
Yeah, because I thought like if that's like that all the time, that would be really weird, right? Then it like you walk in and like people are just serious and they're just like doing deadlifts rather than like drinking and doing that. But if it's like occasionally and people are hyped for it and it's like an event, I could see how it'd be really interesting, be really fun.
Dude, I would have totally done this.
Yeah.
See, this is a okay, if this isn't something that happens all the time and it's like at a gym, but it's like a once a week type of event where people can meet, oh fuck. It's perfect because like you're going into a place, you get a little bit of alcohol, meeting some hot people lifting, everyone's sweating, everyone's starting to glisten. Like that's a nice party.
Me and a couple friends when I was like in my 20s, we would go to the gym at like midnight and deadlift. That was like the best thing we could think of for a party.
But were there any ladies there?
No.
Okay, so
No, the gym was empty. You know, it was like 5 of us, and we just thought it'd be like hype to go and like deadlift. You know, I don't know, midnight deadlifting, just to kind of make it a different challenge or whatever. But yeah, we didn't think of like going to this extent. This seems awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember, I forgot where Stephanie was, but I was home alone and I had a 24-hour gym membership. And I just remember I went kind of late and I was like, well, like I'll just work out some more because nobody was there. I was there for like 3 hours. I did like an entire week's worth of workouts. I was like, this is the best day ever because I didn't have to be anywhere. Nobody was at home. I had like nothing to do. I was like, well, I'm just going to keep working out. And it was cool. Yeah.
I've seen some hard alcohol going on. Did they say like, are they drinking like on their way in too? Because that would be interesting. Like if you drank a little bit early and kind of worked out with a little bit of a buzz would be interesting.
Yeah. It's from what I think I understood is like the like weight room is in the back. And then so you go through the party to go work out. And then on your way out, everyone's having a good time.
And I wonder, do you need to like
work out?
Yeah, you need to. I guess we could play the video more, try to learn more information.
I'm at Grit Boxing in New York City, which is pretty much like the hottest club in New York right now. It combines boxing, treadmills, and floor workouts for a 50-minute all-in, I'm gonna be dead after this workout that's gonna work every part of my whole entire body. And they have a bar. So after you finish that insane workout, you can come up to their recovery station, which is just a full bar. So their goal is to really foster community around the class.
Pause it for a second. What if we like went in to like investigate this and like, well, let's go check it out. We're all hyped and we walk in and there's Coach Greg there at the counter to greet us.
That'd be amazing. It feels like you would actually
drink harder than last time.
Yeah. This would be a right.
Wearing a super tight T-shirt or his little stringer tank top.
Stringer, yeah.
Pat Project family, how's it going? Hope you're enjoying the episode. And this episode is brought to you by Merrick Health, the premium telehealth clinic from Derek from More Plates, More Dates. Now, if you've been wanting to get your blood work done or if you wanted to get your blood work analyzed by a physician, Merrick has your back on that. And Andrew, can you tell them how to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you guys know exactly what labs you want to get, you guys can load them all up into your cart and at checkout, enter promo code PowerProject10 to save 10% off all labs. But if you're like me and you're not sure exactly where to start, you guys can get the Power Project panel. You guys can head over to merrickhealth.com/powerproject and you guys will see a whole panel of like over 26 different labs, everything from head to toe that you're going to need to know what's going on under the hood. And again, to get in on that, head over to merrickhealth.com/powerproject and at checkout, enter promo code PowerProject to save $101 off of that entire panel. Links to them and all the information down in the description as well as the podcast show notes.
You take, which I think is really interesting because right now we're definitely seeing a trend of people using their fitness studios as like their third space. They have work, they have home, and then they have their fitness studio. So why not combine that with a really great place to hang out? Let's go see how it goes.
Hi, my name is Nsima Inyang. I am a co-founder here at Grip Boxing.
Tell us a little bit your background in boxing.
Sure, so I started boxing at Syracuse University, competed my senior year of college, went to nationals.
No one gives a fuck that she's boxing.
From Syracuse University. And
We can just skip through all this.
So I tried literally every single studio in New York. There wasn't any studio I didn't try, but I left every studio feeling very alone. And there was this lack of community.
Okay, pause that real quick, actually. You know, this is one thing that like has been a theme through a lot of podcasts we've been talking about because like jiu-jitsu, there's a community. Obi came and he loved CrossFit because of the CrossFit community. And when you go and you lift at a gym, usually you're lifting alone. There are certain gyms like super training when people train at the same time. It's kind of a community, but it does seem like trying to find some type of, if you don't have a community outside of fitness, if you can try to find some kind of community within that, that could help you stick to that habit more and it can make it way more enjoyable.
Right. Yeah. Talking to people at a commercial gym can be really weird.
Oh, yeah.
Like kind of breaking the ice with somebody or something, which is strange because you definitely have something in common. And it's also weird too that like you can't just go up to somebody. I mean, yeah, you can, but like you don't think that you can. You keep your headphones on. They probably keep their headphones on, and you can't like really go over and just be like, "Hey, how did you build up your arms?" Because like I don't really know what I'm doing, but your arms look big. I would like to figure that out, you know. And I think sometimes people just think like, this is weird. Like, what's this guy asking me questions for? Or I don't want to bother somebody while they're working out. And so it isn't very like communal, unless sometimes it's obvious that you're a bodybuilder and the other guy's a bodybuilder, and that usually like strikes conversation. I think if you recognize that somebody else was if a girl recognized somebody else as like a bikini competitor, like it's kind of obvious, right? People have the tan and they got like a whole thing going on where they look a very particular way. So if you're super similar age, or you have some similarities, it's easier to have a conversation. But I could see where having some alcohol would kind of break the ice.
You know, the interesting thing though too is like when I think back to when I was training when I was younger, I never really had a training partner. One of my closest friends, he trained with me every now and then, but he wasn't as into it as I was. And just being perfectly honest, like before super training, the people that I would maybe end up training with were people that maybe I like found me on social media, and then we ended up training at the same place, and that's how we ended up training together. But I never went out of my way to do that. But I do think it would have been like more enjoyable if I did. That's why when I did come to super training, I started to enjoy my training even more, because I'm just like, wow, a like-minded group of people that are now all lifting. And like it just made training so much more fun, because there is an aspect where some people do find like bodybuilding. It's like, oh yeah, it's solitary, you versus you. You go into the gym and you do your thing, blah, 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 right? But when you get some people that are like some buddies that are really doing the same shit, it's really fun. But I do think it's kind of, women are better at that. Women are better at like talking to each other and having a community and doing that thing. But guys, at least for me, it was difficult when I was younger.
Well, you're right. There's I can't think, I guess the equivalent is jujitsu. Like there's Kaya Fit and like all these different things that women go to. And even yoga, not that men can't go to any of these things. They can, but it's usually women that are providing like a community for each other. That they can go and do Pilates, yoga, Kaya Fit, and so on. There's tons of different things. There's not necessarily as much stuff like for guys, but guys do go to the gym. The gym is predominantly, normally the men are a larger percentage of the memberships at a gym or the people that are showing up at a gym, I would imagine. And then jujitsu is slanted quite a bit.
Yeah, jujitsu is very, like, now that you mention it, like there are a lot of women that do jujitsu, but at a majority of jujitsu schools, it's gonna usually be like at least maybe 75% guys, at least. And now that you mention that, it's like, that might be an aspect of why jiu-jitsu is so popular. Yeah, the martial art is really fun. It's something that it takes a long time to learn, but the community aspect, especially for guys, it's like, other than maybe, there isn't really I'm trying to think of something else that could compare.
I mean, maybe CrossFit, but...
And CrossFit's really mixed. That's one thing.
It is, yeah.
CrossFit's really mixed, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's just like...
Yeah, CrossFit might be the kind of almost the only example that is mixed.
Yeah.
It does have a good percentage of men and women, but I still don't know what the participation percentage would be. I just think it's, some people might think that we would look at this video and think it's, negative. Obviously, like, we're not going to like promote that you're like drinking and like lifting at the same time type of thing, but I don't really care how somebody gets involved in fitness. Like if this is someone's introduction and they go to something like this once a month, or this is the first time that they go and they have a good experience. They're getting some good training in. I mean, I would imagine too, there's probably a lot of people that go there and probably get drunk, but there's probably a lot of people that go there and probably barely drink or don't drink at all when they're done with their workout.
Yeah. Just everyone, it seems like, we'll keep watching, but it seems like everyone's just kind of loose and chilling and talking while getting a lift in. And even though alcohol isn't great for your sleep, like every now and then it ain't gonna kill you.
From going to all these studios, and I knew I wanted to create a space where not only can you have a great workout and really work hard, but also have a place to hang out, connect with people afterwards, and that's where we brought in the idea of the bar.
I didn't hear anything she said. I'm looking at her legs. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, 100%. We're all about balance.
You must be looking so hard because you can barely see them.
I know. Yeah. I'm trying to imagine the rest of them, the calves and everything.
Well, okay.
When you're married for as long as I've been married, you start, you got to like have an imagination.
There's nothing wrong with looking and just assessing and being like, hey, wow, she looks attractive. She has a nice set of legs. And
depends on how far you go down.
Yeah.
You start staring off into space and drooling and stuff, then you got a problem.
Have you ever been in a situation where you drooled?
I haven't drooled, but I have had a friend, one of my wife's friends went and saw something with Chris Hemsworth, and she was with her husband at the time, and there was a scene in this movie, obviously Chris Hemsworth's shirt pops off all the time by accident, right?
Yeah.
His shirt pops off, and she just like gasped really loud. She was like, and then like her husband kind of looked at her kind of weird, and she was like, I can't even, did I actually just do that out loud? And he was like, that was very loud. Dude, he's sitting there all mad.
Dude, women are as guilty of this as men. I was watching this one show. It was on Netflix with one of my exes. And there was this scene where like the guy was standing, right? He was naked, but he was getting up. And as the camera panned up, right, his lower half was covered by the table. And I was just like looking at her a little bit, and I saw her go like, Like she visibly tried to.
She moved.
She moved upwards so that she could potentially see this dick behind this hidden table, even though it wouldn't be able to be seen. So she went like, huh? And I was just like, what? And she's like, oh shit. It was instinctive, right?
Great.
So women are just as guilty of this
Women
as
are
men.
disgusting.
Yeah.
That is horrible.
They just judge us for it, even though they're doing the same shit. And it's okay. It's okay. As long as no one's touching each other in any weird ways, we're all good.
You know, in women's defense, they don't really get that much like full nudity, you know, from men, like in movies, you know.
They have been these past few years. You watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah, there's been more.
Yeah, there's been so much dick and butt of dudes, right? Like women are getting all of it now.
They're starting to get more full frontal. I think they're happy about it.
They are very happy. Do you remember that one show, Sex Life, on Netflix?
I don't
remember. I showed you guys that scene.
Oh, the guy in the shower or whatever, right?
shower.
Yeah. He was hanging.
He was fucking. Guys, if you go to Sex Life Season 1, Episode 3, I think it's minute 19, 20, or 21. Oh, God, that was great.
And everyone's like, it's oh, fuck, what do they call it? Prosthetic.
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't be hating.
That shit can't be real. That cannot be real. Oh, God.
They had a special lens.
Yep.
It's a hard workout. It's 15 minutes of don't worry, 50 minutes of hard work, but then you leave the studio and you go get a margarita. It's all about that work hard, play hard balance. And it's over before you even know it. So
I've said that before. We'll see if it's true today.
It's over before you even know it. Was that a double entendre?
I think so.
Okay.
I just like the fact that they're like, you know, somebody probably thought of this. They were like, man, I just can't stop drinking. And somebody else like, yeah, me too. Like I got the workout thing down, but fuck, I just can't
stop.
Well, why fight it anymore? Let's bring some booze in our shaker cup tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mix it with our branched chain amino acids. And that's how this was built, I believe. Rest is history.
Yeah, man.
Makes sense.
Little shots going.
All right, welcome. Mimosas, guys, show me some love.
Dude, pause. All these people are just fucking. This is great.
Look at that guy in the back. He's
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got all these fit women and fit men in the same room, working out, sweating, endorphins, alcohol. Fuck. I wish I was here in my early 20s. Holy shit, this is amazing.
That's what I was thinking when, like, you know, we're talking about, you know, building that community and, you know, maybe you take a shot and now all of a sudden you are more open and you're talking to people. Then you take another shot and then you take your shot and it's like could get weird right away because it's like
bring grit boxing to Sacramento. I mean, I can't take part in it anymore, but I mean, just bring it to Sacramento. We don't know when we'll need it.
Like, hold on. I think I got to still finish up my set of deadlifts. I'll be right back.
It's 8 p.m. Where are you? Last time you didn't come back till 2.
I think there's a lot of, you know, like stiff-legged deadlifts and movements like that going on.
Absolutely.
Like single arm rows, you know, where the butt is way up in the air and all that stuff, right?
Lots of hip thrusts. Lots of hip thrusts.
And when that's finally over, you're ready for a celebration. And luckily, you don't have to travel too far to treat yourself. Grit is the only workout studio with a full bar. And that's where the third member of this Anchor fam comes in. Dylan, ditching the post-gym Gatorade for some drinks with a little more, well, grit.
The margaritas have electrolytes in them, so you can
Hell yeah.
after your class. We also have mocktails. We have
You know what,
cold
Paz?
brew.
Technically, that does make sense, though.
Yeah.
You know, because
so you don't get as much of a hangover.
exactly. So I used to there were a few friends that would go out drinking a lot. So I used to give them electrolytes. And they're like, oh my God, what's in this? When I wake up, I'm not hungover anymore. I'm like, well, electrolytes. So that technically makes some sense.
Yeah, balance out with some liquid. I think years ago, too, somebody made a protein, like vodka, a protein-infused vodka. I don't think it's around anymore. But supposedly that helped with keeping your hangover a little bit less.
Kombucha, hard kombucha, kale martinis.
Hard
just
kombucha. Pause
The
this.
drinks
This place has to be expensive, by the way.
Yeah.
Yo, it just sounds like it sounds like the most. Actually, I'm a
Bougie.
Yeah, there we go. That's a much less offensive way of saying it. It's a very bougie.
You were going to make fun of my race, weren't you?
Yeah, it's just kombucha and kale shakes. It's all you. That's your people.
And then to make a hard kombucha drink, like let's put something that tastes gross with something else that does not taste good either, and we'll mix them together because somebody's going to pay for it.
Hell yeah, man! Get your money.
Designed for an after-workout boost. And after that class and all that hard work, they certainly taste a whole lot sweeter. Gin and tonic, anyone?
So the thing I would add to this that I think would make it amazing is that you actually have to spar at the end. Because all these people throwing these punches at the bag with their hands down, then they could really learn. You know what I mean?
Go in there and wreck people.
Honestly, if there was a grappling element, I think that would be pretty solid.
That'd be
a
little bit of wrestling afterwards.
But let's be real here. This is actually like, okay, even though at this point we do know that alcohol isn't great for your recovery, especially if you're a serious athlete, alcohol isn't.
You can't have it because it's bad for your sleep.
It is pretty bad for your sleep. But like, you know, I'll drink every now and then. You'll have wine every now and then. It's not like we'll never ever drink, but if somebody does enjoy the social aspect of drinking a bit, it does seem that like this what they've been able to do here is a pretty cool way and seems like a healthier way of adding drinking into what you do, you know?
I'm sure they probably get into pretty good conversation about, I mean, I'm sure they're just like fucking each other all the time too, but I'm sure they actually probably get in conversation about like nutrition because they're like, well, I don't do this every day. I can picture people like having conversation like that. I came here, you know, come here once a month or something, and I drink once a month. And then you get to kind of share that information with people, and people get to kind of adopt some of those principles. And maybe it's helpful because a lot of times in a regular gym, like we said, it's not like communal. So you're not really picking up tips and information from other people. And even though these are young people that are probably hooking up a lot, again, I'm imagining that there's probably a lot of shared information going on between like-minded people that want to get better, that want to be more fit, that want to be healthier. In that, it didn't look like there was any on everyone looked very healthy. So interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was going to point out, that everyone in that video was in really good shape and they were all pretty young. I'm curious how the membership fee would be.
It's New York.
Because, well, no, I mean, what I mean is like if you do have somebody that does drink right now, they're like, I think I want to get in shape. I wouldn't recommend that they go somewhere where they have super easy access to more alcohol when they're trying to get something else, in line. So
good point.
That's where I'm thinking it might not be the best place for somebody who does drink to go to a place where there is more alcohol. That's where people have the biggest transformation, is when they take that, the access away and they go to the gym, and then they're like, oh, the gym saved my life because now I don't even want to drink anymore. But if there's alcohol at the ready, it's, there's like, I'm just going to have a drink. It's no big deal. I just worked out. So that's where I would see like a huge fault in this type of setup. But with that said, again, everyone was in shape. It seemed like they were already going to be in really good shape and already going to get in a good workout and still drink. So I don't know. I'm just, like I said, I'm curious if there's a monthly subscription or membership fee, because I would hate for somebody to try to get in shape and pay for like a year membership and just go there and just drink.
I actually think it'd be a great idea for a lot of gyms to adopt some of this principle of throwing a fucking party every once in a while.
Planet Fitness has Pizza Mondays and Bagel Wednesdays.
Right. And there's some other gyms too that have like sushi and alcohol and like some of these big clubs like Spectrum Club and some of those places. All kinds of shit there. But this is really interesting because, again, you get people to get in conversation, and maybe you pulled someone into fitness that just really wasn't into it anymore, or really just never got bit by it. And you could say, hey man, just come with me to come with me to Gold's Gym. Like you're gonna have fun, man. I'm gonna show you how to lift and stuff. And they can say, I had a trainer for like 3 months, 3 years ago, but I tore my rotator cuff. Fill in the blank. I used to lift all the time. When I played football, I used to lift when I was in high school. I don't know. I never really got it. But hey, there's this place I want to take you to, there's chicks there, bro. There's people drinking. There's people having a good time. It's like lighthearted. You're going to get a good workout. You're going to like get exposed to some running, just light on a treadmill. No one's killing themselves. You're going to learn a little bit of boxing, learn a little bit of, who knows, maybe a little self-defense. Maybe that's something that leads you into like wanting to do more boxing or something. But I think whatever way we got to introduce people into fitness, I think we need more ways, because we're just losing. We're losing the battle. A lot of people are excessively overweight. There's still not enough people lifting. I think almost everybody needs some lifting.
Yeah.
Or anyone can benefit from lifting weights. So if this is that little extra encouragement to drag someone along to get them in there, it could be really cool.
If anybody's read the book by Malcolm Gladwell called Talking to Strangers, please maybe help me on this reference, because I'm going to butcher part of this. But in the book, he was talking about the culture around drinking in different areas of the world. And there's this place in South America where they'll have this like crazy high proof alcohol, right? But every weekend as a community, people like have their doors open and they'll have that alcohol at the ready, but no one ends up there aren't any acts of violence. No one ends up being crazy. The alcohol is generally used as a substance just to help people connect within that culture. It's used as a connector for people, right? Here in the United States, when you look at college campuses and drinking culture and party culture, same thing with like club scenes and party scenes, around that culture of drinking, it's usually done to excess. It usually leads to, there's a high volume of sexual assaults, a lot of violence. Like it's the culture around the drinking leads people to drink in excess and have really bad outcomes. Because he also mentioned within these people in South America, people aren't getting blackout drunk. People aren't having to get wheeled to hospitals. It's even though the alcohol is super strong that these people are drinking because of the way the alcohol is used within the community. Right? So when I look at this, the knee-jerk reaction for me is like, oh, shit, alcohol and fitness? No way. But when you think about how they're mixing the community aspect, the whole culture is we are trying to be healthy and fit. And now we're going to add this substance in to help loosen us up and help us just be able to connect a bit better. I would doubt in that setting that there are people that are like doing 10 shots after their workout. They're probably just having a margarita with some electrolytes or having something typically, right? So that is a way that alcohol, this substance that we know to be very careful with, is actually really helping people be a bit more communal because of the setting. That's really cool.
Yeah, I remember seeing in a documentary, there's an Indian culture, and I don't remember the exact drug. I'm just going to say ketamine, but I have it wrong. I know it's not actually ketamine, but they use this particular drug as like a rite of passage. You would utilize this drug at like a certain age, and it was utilized in a ritualistic way. Whereas sometimes with some of the drugs that we have here, when it comes to like psychedelics, especially, like they've really been demonized. And especially marijuana years ago. It was really like, put in this category of how bad it is and different things like that. And so I think, traveling the world with my family and going to different parts of the country, my son drank every day. We were in Ireland. He was pumped.
You have like a beer, one of those.
Yeah. You get a big ass beer, and now he's sending me pictures. He's in South Africa right now, and he's drinking there and stuff.
Let's go, Jake.
As well. I don't think there's anything wrong with the exposure to these things. I think drugs and sex and these things that like we tend to try to suppress or just say it's bad, or like you're not allowed to jerk off or any of these things, or to even come down on a young person that's watching porn. You want to like relay you want to give them information.
Educate.
You want to educate. It's an education opportunity. And when it comes to drugs or alcohol, I think those are all educational opportunities. When it comes to your food, when it comes to fitness, when it comes to exercise in general, those are all great opportunities to start to get into a discussion with somebody about, give them more information so they can start to make decisions on, hey, did you know that zone 2 cardio does A, B, and C for your heart? Oh, well, how much do I have to do it, a week? You got to do it, every day for an hour. It's like, well, you just totally crush the person. How about you just say, you give them some information, say it's very healthy. It might be something that you want to look into. And whatever amount of time you can devote to it per week is better than the time that you're devoting to it now because you're not doing any. So any introduction to fitness, any introduction into walking, lifting, running, punching a bag, I mean, all this stuff is like soccer, right? Soccer's a game. It's a game. It just got you to exercise. Your mom was smart enough when you were young. She's like, this kid is gonna he's got so much energy. I better put him in stuff. And if he doesn't like this thing, I better put him in something else. And when he's done with soccer, he better go play the damn piano or something, because we got to keep his mind and his body occupied all the time. And that's a great observation by parents. It's a great thing, is to try to keep people moving. But it doesn't matter your age. We have to keep moving anyway. Once we stop moving, just like anything else, still water, starts to get gross, starts to get moldy. A boat, a ship will start to get like barnacles. When stuff just sits around, that's the least healthy thing that you can do. So if you're moving around and you're getting to a gym and you're having some fun with it and having some pizza or having some ice cream, on a particular, once a week or something like that, I think all of it can be good.
Yeah. I'm curious about what you guys think about this, because if you listen to the podcast, we've had so many people come on and talk about alcohol. We talked about alcohol. So what are your thoughts on this whole grit boxing thing? Alcohol in general for yourself, how do you navigate it? Because maybe people can get some different things. So there are people out there who really love alcohol, right? And it's interesting because when you drink, when I drink, I feel good, but I don't like I don't like it in excess. I don't like being drunk. You know what I mean? Tipsy's kind of nice.
I think Andrew would probably be the best to answer this question, since you liked alcohol at one point and drank it quite a bit, I think, right?
I drank it a lot, up all the way up till I was 27, and then a little bit after that, but it was definitely under control. I don't think it was ever out of control, but I drank every night. I would
every night.
Every night, yeah.
Like what? Like some beer?
It started with a 6-pack, and then eventually I was like, well, fuck, I kind of want a little bit more. So I would get a 12-pack. I wouldn't finish it, but I always had a what's it called, revolving door of that. So there was always beer around.
Regular, just beer, or light beer or something. Or
the real drinkers are gonna be like, fucking pussy, but yeah, Bud Light, because it was cheap and it went down easy. But then when it came to the weekends, I really, really enjoyed drinking by myself early, because then when everyone else was done doing their shit, I was already ahead of ahead of everybody else, and then we drink more, so then I would get more messed up than everybody else. And that would I would live for this. I would just get through fuck this job Monday through Friday. Oh, it's Friday night though. Oh, it's Saturday night.
God damn.
It's Sunday again.
You get a mental edge kind of over everybody else because you're already tipsy or how.
Yeah, they'd walk in. I'm already telling jokes when they're barely getting off the blocks, and then everyone would be excited
I beat you,
for that.
Bro.
Yes. And so
we're lucky we didn't lose you, man.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. My eyes are just so wide this whole time.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining that.
Yeah, it was
you're so different now.
Yeah.
Very different. I thought that was fairly normal though. I watched a lot of people in my family drink. I watched my brother, who I looked up to more than anybody, drunk every day too. And so we ended up living together, and this is kind of where I took the correct turn. So I got divorced. So one of the things that was making me upset the most was gone out of my life now. So the whole fuck, I got to get drunk before she gets home feeling her routine was gone.
Damn, there's a lot in that statement.
I know.
Yeah.
We can dive into that too, but
some other show.
Yeah.
I ended up living with my brother, who I looked up to. And I thought it was dude, this is going to be sick. Dude, I get to live with my brother now. And I know he likes to party. This is going to be so much fun. I had to take care of him so many times because he literally didn't stop drinking. I'm talking passed out drunk, wake up, drink more. And dude, you never stop. You actually do not stop. Do you eat food? I don't need that shit. Very, very bad. So it went from this is going to be awesome to, oh, dang, I don't want to be like this guy. And then talking to my dad, hey dude, I think he has a problem. Nah, he's fine. What?
How what has to happen? Yeah.
He's literally passed out on the fucking porch right now, and you think he's fine. oh, okay, my goodness, I got it. Like, I don't want to do this. So whatever you guys have, potentially I have it. But thankfully I don't think I really did though, because I never felt like I had to have, although I kind of did feel that way, but I didn't feel like sick, or I didn't feel like I have to get drunk at work or anything like that.
When you didn't have it.
Yeah. I was kind of okay. But then after seeing that, and then, finding fitness, finding Stephanie, and then so like I would work out and stuff, and then I remember one time it was just like I had a couple shots of like Patron, and then I went to work out the next day. I felt terrible, and I remember my coach at that time was like, "Oh, so you want to drink, the night before you do this again?" I'm like, no, I don't think I ever want to drink again. And it did happen, but it was after that I was like, man, again, whatever is in my bloodline, it might be somewhere in me, and thankfully I stopped it before I like unlocked that. And so thankfully my brother and my dad are better off now, especially my brother. He's got a family now. He's legit.
Yeah.
But I mean, all of us could have easily went down the wrong path. From what I understand, my grandfather died from overconsumption. So it's definitely there.
Hit my grandfather too.
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandfather was a big alcoholic.
Yeah. So like, dude, I get it, man. I remember talking to my cousin, and he was, talking about like maybe like cutting drinking down. And I just remember saying like, how are you going to have fun? And he would just laugh and be like,
what are you going to do?
Yeah. Like, well, what else is there like to do? Like, how are you going to, like, what are you going to do on the weekends if you're not drinking? Like, how are you going to enjoy a football game? How are you going to enjoy watching a movie? How are you going to enjoy life without getting drunk? And it was just like, I look at that now and I'm like, wow, dude, like, yeah, I was a completely different person.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
Did, because there's this theme of like the men in your family. Did the women in your family also have any type of issue like this, or was it more of the guys? Like it was like y'all, like everyone drinks beer.
Yeah, it was. I don't want to talk bad about anybody at all, but so that's why I can speak about my direct family. But like my mom, definitely no. My sister, no. When there was a big family gathering, aunts and uncles, everybody would party. Like it would be very rare if somebody didn't drink some kind of alcohol. My mom usually wouldn't, because she would have to drive, so she wouldn't partake. But yeah, for the most part, it was kind of everybody. But the guys definitely went hard in the paint for sure.
I find that interesting because like I do know a lot of young women in their early 20s that drink a lot just because of party culture. So again, like that culture, everyone drinks a lot. But there is like when I've looked at like some of the men in my family, like my grandfathers on both sides. In Nigeria, there's this thing called palm wine, and the men, like when they get together, they drink a lot of palm wine and get like that's a normal thing for the men to consume a lot of alcohol. And when I've just seen how like some of the men in my family kind of do that, it's like drinking is it's a norm. It's a manly thing to do. I kind of pride myself on being a lightweight, but I do find that interesting. I mean, I can't say that there's a corollary with everyone, but there is a corollary through many cultures where alcohol is like, I know in Nigerian culture and African culture, especially in Nigeria, like palm wine and alcohol consumption is very normal for men, and it's not seen as bad yet. It's just, if you drink a lot as a guy and you can handle it, you're a man.
Yep, you're seen as a like a strong, powerful. Even though we understand like about the like potentials of promoting estrogen and getting man boobs from drinking beer, and obviously a beer belly, right? Like that's there. But for some reason, if you can drink more than everybody, if you can handle more beer than everybody, and even pee less than everybody, you're a fucking savage. And the guy that threw up, or the guy that had to stop drinking, is a pussy. And
bitch.
Like, why are you even here? Like, get out of here. Like, it's so dumb. It's so weird. Such a weird culture that I was deep in.
Yeah, I didn't need any education on alcohol. It killed family members, and it's just I have like almost PTSD over it in some ways. Seeing my brother, high off of something, or seeing him drunk off of something, seeing basically my childhood hero who was like indestructible in a way. Just seeing him just lying on a couch, in his own urine is like disturbing, And so I kind of always thought that there was no reason for me to ever really fuck with that stuff. I was like too young, and I was just, my mom would kind of warn me. She's like, I don't know the science or the information around it, but like, I think that there's something like in our blood that leaves you maybe a little more wide open to, falling into a trap. So she's like, if you do drink, she's like, let me know, tell me about it. She'd always try to be like open about it rather than saying like, don't ever drink, ever drink. You're going to end up being like my dad, or my uncle died from drug overdose. He had alcohol issues. And then on my other side of the family, on my dad's side, my grandfather, he would have like a cigar here and there, and he would have I don't think he had whiskey. He had something cheaper or something more disgusting that he would always have around that he would drink.
Yeah.
And he would just have like a little bit here and there, and it just kind of, he had 9 kids, and just go. Hit something a little bit here and there to like take him to a different spot.
Grandpa's cough medicine.
A little something. I don't think he drank a lot though. It's just like a little bit, just to fucking relax. And same thing with the cigar. Probably. I don't know anything about like cigars or nicotine, or I don't even know what the fuck's in a cigar, but probably tobacco, right? It probably made him high a little bit, and
a little buzz.
Gave him a little buzz. Probably felt good. But yeah, I just saw so many just bad things happen with alcohol. I saw a lot of my friends get in like fights, and it's just like, I don't know, like a lot of my friends would like win a fight, but like it's just violent and dumb and just get you in a lot of trouble, put you in a lot of weird spots.
Yeah.
On the other hand, alcohol is like, alcohol and a bar is like a little bit akin to like a dating app. Like I wouldn't have met my wife if it wasn't for America's interpretation of alcohol and going out and partying, because she went to a bar, I worked at the bar. That's how we met. I think there's a lot of things like that. So nowadays it's kind of easy to be like, I can't believe these two met online. It's so stupid. How does anybody meet that way or whatever? Well, it's hard to understand, but you also may not have met somebody because of other technology, such as a plane. I probably wouldn't have met my wife if it wasn't for a plane, because I flew from New York to California, lived in California, met her here. Cars, everything kind of has an influence and has a change. But alcohol can, I think it can be used now that I'm older and have a different, I was scared when I was young. I was just scared of it, flat out, pretty scared of it, because of the things I saw with my brother. And then also my brother Chris, which is amazing. He would never drink around me, which was awesome. Wow. So he and I would go, he would take me like everywhere. We'd go to parties together. He's 4 years older than me. So imagine like a freshman in high school, hanging out with a senior in high, like that's weird, right? No one ever wants to hang out with a freshman, or I might have even been below that even. I might have not even been in high school yet.
That was your ticket to get into all the cool parties.
Yeah. And I would hang out, but I would see, it was kind of cool because I could observe and just be like, well, my brother's still having fun, and he's not drinking. Like, and I'm like, look at his friends. They're a bunch of fucking animals. Like they're acting like idiots. I kind of always thought it was fun and funny, but I always thought it was kind of like dumb and dangerous too.
Yeah, I've seen tons of dumb shit like that where like somebody throws up or they piss themselves, and so everyone thinks it's a good idea to like pick them up, put them outside, and fucking hose them down. In the wintertime, poor kid, hypothermia. It's like, what the fuck? And it's because everyone's drunk, thinking it's like a, fun, stupid idea.
Right.
And it's like, dude, it's never good.
I've really like been able to see, like, again, I'm not saying alcohol is evil or anything. Just got to be careful. But like, it pretty much destroyed my ex-girlfriend. Like it pretty much destroyed her. Like this girl would end up turning to alcohol so much, and I could just slowly see it degrade the way she acted, did things, and it was just then a substance that she turned to for stress. And I understand it because it's something that can dull that, but like even just by seeing that more, every now and then I used to drink wine a bit more often, but then I was just like, I'm just gonna do this way less.
I don't think it's a great idea to have it be your only stress mitigator. You know,
Yeah.
If it's one of many, that sounds fine. Like one of your other ones is to go for a run or lift some weights. One of your other stress mitigators is to garden or some shit. You know, like you got other things that you like to do that are not just drinking and not just eating. I think that's fine. You know, and now you have other things. You got other tools. We've talked before with Casey that works here, does our warehouse and logistics and stuff like that. And Casey's a savage. He's out there running, he's lifting, he's boxing, he's doing yoga. I mean, this guy's doing he hunts.
At Too Dumb to Quit on Instagram. Go follow his ass right now.
Go follow him.
Yeah, he's like early or mid 50s, and he's in the best shape of his life. He was in the gym yesterday, stretching and doing stuff after his training session, and he's always getting after it, but he's told me before, I think he told you guys before, he's like, I got to get on that. I got to get on your show because I need to talk about alcohol with you guys. So we will have him on the show.
Oh yeah.
Because he likes to drink here and there.
Yeah.
And it's like, there are reasonable ways that you can kind of mix some of this shit in. He's like, he would have like a Bud Light or Coors Light. Sorry, Casey, if I'm messing this up. He's probably so mad right now. I'd never drink that shit. I don't know the difference between any of the things, but he could come on here and explain some of it to us.
Yeah, people go hard for their types of beers too, but he's like the last person that I know, because I'm very, I mean, you guys heard my story, and so now I'm like, when somebody does talk about I want to get in shape, and it's like, oh, do you want that more than your beer? And so I will go hard there, but then he'll DM me and he's like, yeah, you can do it if you're not a fucking bitch or whatever. He'll totally shit on me, but then he'll have a better physique than me. He'll be stronger than me. He'll kick my ass in boxing if he wants. I mean, he's I look up to him a lot too. So he's like the last argument that I will never be able to, beat, because it's like, yeah, dude, he can do it. So obviously it can be done. But like I said, it's just because sometimes, I guess the stuff that I went through, it's like, I don't know if you can do it. Casey can do it. I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah, I'm thankful that you pulled yourself out of that. It's great.
Me too.
Power Project family, how's it going? Now, we like to look good in the gym and out of the gym. That's why you always see Mark and I and Andrew is stepping up on the short game, wearing shorts from Viore and clothes from Viore. And honestly, the number one compliment that I've seen, that I've gotten, and even Mark's gotten, is, damn, your butt looks good. And that's because, the clothes we wear make our booties look delicious. Andrew, how can they get it?
Yeah, you guys both have pretty big wagons. You guys can head over to viore.com/power project. That's VUORI.com/power project to receive 20% off the most amazing apparel that looks so good inside and outside of the gym.
It's going to make your ass look fat,
and your ass will look fat. Links to them down in the description, as well as the podcast show notes. God damn it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Make your ass look fat. Do you find that you've loosened the rein? Because I remember there was years ago when we went to, I think we went to an expo, right? And you remember someone brought some beers, and I remember I never knew that you ever had an alcohol problem when you were younger. But I remember I took one of the beers, and you were like, I got to be careful with this. I was like, wait, what? You're like, damn, I used to drink a lot. I was like, wait, what? But I think you did end up having a beer.
Yeah, maybe I drink a lot more because I don't remember.
Yeah, no, you had one beer, but I remember you saying that, and I was just like, huh. So I'm like, it's. Do you know nowadays?
It was with
Chris,
me, you, Chris, and Josh. Yes.
Yeah.
That was the community aspect. That it comes all the way back, because I remember I had told my wife Stephanie, I was like, hey, normally I'm the guy that's like, I gotta be in bed because we got a long day tomorrow. I don't want to drink because and I had told her that I'm like, hey, I'm gonna hang out this time. I'm like, I never hang out with the guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna hang out this time. And then they had I think Chris was like, all right, I'm getting the first round, and so we all got a round, and you could only buy 2 beers max, so we all had 2 beers.
Yeah.
But I just remember I took that first drink, and then I was just like, oh, that tastes good. It was a Heineken too. And then Chris was laughing. Chris was laughing big time. And that's when I was like, I got to be careful, because, the set and setting was very oh, fuck, everyone's here. But that was, I definitely loosened up big time because I just wanted to hang out with you guys. And that was such a fun night.
Yeah.
We all drank 2 beers and we have like some really good memorable moments from that fucking stupid little hotel room. But
Big Dick Daddy.
that, home is where the bros are,
Don't worry
which
about it,
doesn't
Mark.
make any sense, but
I'm getting excited.
So on one side of me, I'm like, did I really have to drink? But then the other side, it's like, dude, what if I missed out on this really cool moment with my homies? And it's like, well, I get it there, you know, but yeah, when I'll always lean towards not drinking because I don't need it anymore.
Absolutely.
I used to, but not anymore. Yeah.
Shit can be dangerous, so
Yeah.
be careful with it. But I think in this setting, like of people they're just trying to introduce people to fitness, and they're just trying to have a good time with it. When it comes to any of this stuff, we could get all crazy and worry about the type of plastic that our steak is wrapped in from the butcher, and like you could get, and that's to each their own. If that makes you happy to safeguard yourself away from those things, then I guess do so. But I think the key is to try to live your life with as much equanimity and balance as you can, and where not only are you not really that concerned about alcohol one way or the other, but you don't really care if someone else does it either. You're not like just super judgy going, man, I think they drink way too much. If they have a problem, that's something that you can try to figure out ways of having conversation about, or talk to someone that might be closer to them, so that there can be some communication back and forth. And just on that note, there's probably somebody that probably right now that's suffering in some sort of mental capacity. They're probably drinking or doing something too much, and they would probably like it, even if it kind of made them mad. They'd probably appreciate it if you tried to ask them if there's an issue. I do not think that they will like break up conversation with you forever based off of you having concern. Like if you just tell them flat out, say, I'm a little bit worried about how are you doing? You know what I mean? How are you doing? Do you think that you're drinking too much, or are you good? And if it's a good friend or someone close to you, they should be able to tell you. With my brother Chris, we almost lost him to alcohol and drugs as well. And when he kind of went through his issue, I finally did step in. I kind of heard he lived in LA. I didn't see him as much, and a friend of his called, and then I don't know, things would go back and forth. He would be like fine, and then he would have like a rough spot, or he would drink a lot and like black out, and weird shit would happen. And finally it just kind of came to like a head where his girlfriend told me, she was like, she's like, I think he's gonna like die. And I was like, what? What do you mean die? Like, what are you talking about? She's like, he'll drink, and then he like won't drink for like weeks or months, and then he'll drink again. And I was like, because in my head, like an alcoholic, it means that you just drink every day. Yeah. Because we all have like this interpretation of what we think alcoholism is, and it shows up in many different ways. So anyway, that kind of finally came to a head. And when I went to him and said like, okay, well, it really seems like you have a problem. He's like, I do have a problem. It is out of control. And I was like, yeah, I didn't know how to approach it with you. I didn't know how to say anything to you. I didn't know if you would listen. He's like, you're probably the only one I would listen to if he did say something. So I just hugged him, and both of us fucking cried our faces off. And then we had a good friend who helped us, and then he got into a detox center, which is somewhere where you go for just a couple of days, just to get you off of it, because you can die by coming off alcohol. It's one of the few drugs that if you just stop cold turkey out of nowhere and you have a real addiction to it, you can die. It's fucking wild, but you can die from it. So, we got him to one of those facilities. Those facilities are not insanely expensive. There's ways to get like assistance and help for those things where they're not really pricey, but they're also not super effective. They're effective in that first couple days to get someone to break away. Yeah. But then you need a lot of action behind that. And that's where unfortunately, shit can get expensive, but I was in a good spot to be able to help him, and my dad was in a good spot to be able to help him to get to a sober living facility that claimed that they had like this really high rate of being able to help people, and we're able to get him there. But like, what a just, you know, again, he's the reason why I don't drink, right? Like he's one of the reasons why I don't drink. But how quickly sometimes things can change in our life. I think there was a time in his life where he felt lonely and alone. He was in LA. He was by himself, but we would call and talk to each other, and he would talk to my mom and talk to my dad. And you know, his relationship with my oldest brother, Mike, was different than mine. They were a lot closer. So that impacted him differently than it impacted me. Chris also had hip replacement surgeries. And that's kind of where everything started. He got addicted to some painkillers. His body was in a lot of pain, and he couldn't figure out how to manage that. He just hurt every day, like physically hurt every day. And then I think at some point he just recognized, like, holy fuck, I'm like drinking during the day, and now I'm drinking because I'm trying to ditch the pills that I'm on. And yeah, drinking is probably like a little bit better, but it's still not great. You know, I still need some other, you know, intervention. Anyway, you know, if you probably have someone close to you or around you where you're like, I should probably talk to him about it. See if you can have an open conversation. It'll be hard, but it'll be way worse to have something really bad happen to them.
Yeah.
Take us on out of here, Andrew.
Alrighty. Ooh, sorry. Thank you, everybody, for checking out today's episode. Let us know what you guys think about, what was the first club place called? Do you remember?
Grit
I know there
Boxing.
was Grit. There was another one.
I
Anyway.
think it was just Grit Boxing. That was like all about that.
Okay, sorry, my bad. Let us know what you guys think about this style of a gym/bar. And if you guys have been to it, that would be really cool if you guys can tell us how it was and maybe answer some of the questions that we had on here as well. Subscribe if you guys are not subscribed, and hit that like button on the way out. And please follow the podcast at MB Power Project on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. My Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter is at I am Andrew Z. And Nsima, where you at?
Discord's down below. Go check it out for a community. Nsima Inyang on Instagram and YouTube. Nsima Inyang on TikTok and Twitter. Mark?
There's so many things we talk about on this show to help mitigate stress and to help you have a strong, powerful mind. Don't forget that sleep is a free one. Going on a walk is another great one. What are the things you like to do? Do you like to see scenery? Do you like live music? You know, do your best. I know it's not always super simple or super easy, but do your best to get that mental health in check. And if you feel like yours is pretty good, see if you can spend some energy on helping somebody else with their mental health so they don't fall down like a slippery slope here. Strength is never weakness. Weakness never strength. Catch you guys later. Bye.